السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. ربنا اغفر لنا ولوالدينا وللمؤمنين يوم يقوم الحساب. اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما وارنا الحق حقا وارزقنا اتباعه وارنا الباطل باطلا وارزقنا اجتنابه. وصل اللهم على محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وأتباع محمد. ربنا اغفر لنا وارحمنا وأنت خير الراحمين. آمين والحمد لله رب العالمين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. Today, inshallah, we are going to start the 21st word. Today is the first day, and we will try to understand the virtue of Salah and the prayer, ritualistic prayer, 5 times daily prayer, and also the significance of their timing. So this section is really interesting to me, very interesting. How are we going to really convince ourselves that we need to pray and it is beneficial for us? Somehow we are used to, especially those people who believe in God and who believe that we have to worship Him, they somehow feel obliged that they have to connect with God in one way or another. But the meaning of it, how are we going to feel about it, is another matter. And also convince ourselves that our daily prayer is really necessary for us. And later on, the timing of it. Why 5 times a day? Why a specific times a day that we are required to pray? We are asked to pray. We will go all these stages slowly. So let's start reading the text. First station. This is the first. The section has 2. This book, this treatise, if you like, small pamphlet, if you like, has 2 sections. This is the first section, and the second section will deal another aspect of the matter. In the name of God, the merciful, the compassionate, for such prayers are enjoined on believers at stated times, prescribed, fixed times. Now, this is important. Why fixed times? But of course, it will come towards the end of the discussion. Now, why do we pray? Also, why do you have to pray continuously, never ending? And particularly, we will deal about the subject in the later stages of our discussion. Why do we have to do some physical activities, actions, while we are praying? Can I not pray to God through my heart? That is also very commonly asked questions. Then those people who are not really familiar with religion, any kind of religious tradition, they ask the simplest question. It's a very simple question. Why does God ask us to pray? Does he need it? As if we are paying tax to the state. As if, since I am a citizen, I have to pay tax. That's my responsibility. Because state needs my money. The same mind goes to this direction. It is simple, though, but I have encountered this question on many, many occasions by people. Why do we need to do something? Or does God need us to pray? Of course, Muslims give the answer straight away. They say, no, you need it, not God does need it, but you ordered me to do that. Of course, when the question becomes a little bit complicated, then not everybody can really provide a simple answer. But he orders me. Let me feel it if I need it. So why does tell me this? Prayers are enjoined on believers at certain times of the day, but certain times prescribed by the Creator, not by me. Now, we notice that the verse has enjoined on believers. If someone doesn't believe in God, automatically he dumped his feelings, which needs to communicate with the Creator, because there is no Creator. If there was no Creator, then why should I communicate with the Creator? But there is no Creator, so I am the result of random happenings, well, but the material developments. So I should just take care of my life and try to enjoy it as much as possible. That's so simple, isn't it? So only the believers can understand and value the importance of prayer. If you believe in God, believers means believe in God. Of course, those people who believe in God by following other traditions, they have their specific prayers. But we are going to talk about the Quranic enjoyment, Quranic way of prescribing the prayers for us. Okay. Now, very simple question. The author starts with, which is the case always, the author starts at the very simple level, primary school level. One time, a man great in age, physique, and rank said to me, the prayers are fine. I am a Muslim, the prayers are fine. But to perform them every single day, 5 times, is excessive, too much. Since they never end, it becomes wearing, tiring. If anybody needs the book. Okay, do you have the app? Sorry? Do you have your app on your telephone or something? Actually, there is one. You can go get it in the cupboard. You can go open the first. Yeah. First one, yeah. At the bottom. Yeah. So to take the page number and page number. One time, yeah, a long time after the man said these words, I listened to my own soul. It means my ego, myself, because the soul is used sometimes representing spirit. No, egoistic, ego-centered concerns. So, and I heard it say, is it the first page? No, the first page. I'm sorry, friends. 20, no, the beginning of 21st word. Is it the beginning? Just a few. Yeah, this is the 21st. Yeah, from starting from the beginning. Is it? No. There must be something. Sorry, I'm in between. Now, and my own soul, ego, also said the same complaint, made the same complaint. I looked at it and saw that with the ear of laziness, it was receiving the same lesson from Satan. Okay, this is outside whisperings, it means Satan. Then I understood that those words were as though, find it? Yes. Yeah, as though, sorry, I'm again in between two business. I was receiving the same lesson. So then I understood that those words were as though said in the name of all evil commanding souls, egos. It means we are, everything is fine now? Okay, so we are really subject to the same concern. That's why we feel that we have to pray, but to be consistent in our prayers, daily 5 times daily prayers, because of this feeling. Or just 2 hours ago, I prayed, and it is time now for another, especially winter times, another less than 2 hours, do another one, and the time enters and we have to do it. So all even commanding souls, it means you and I also are included in it. We are exposed to this. We may listen, we may not listen, but it comes to our mind because Satan represents the alternative always. So we cannot really think of anything without an alternative. We shouldn't forget that somebody may say that, oh, if Satan is telling me, so it means I am really controlled by the Satan. This is ridiculous because throughout our life, we are exposed to alternatives in every matter. Shall I do this? Shall I do that? Yeah, every matter. So I said, since my soul commands evil, this is ego, my ego-centered concerns, commands evil, one who doesn't reform his own soul cannot reform others. This is a very important matter. In which case, I shall begin with my soul. this one I will highlight here is important for all of us, especially those people who believe we are concerned with ourselves with them. We say Islam is true, Quran is true, I really believe in it, but are you convinced about it? Mm-hmm. Are you really, have you really investigated about it? And do you have satisfactory answer to this? Or just claiming that my way, my tradition is better, as everybody does, mostly. And if I quote a verse from the Quran saying that Quran says so, am I convinced about it? That the content of this verse is really true, I have evidence for it, and I'm convinced, satisfied, then present it to others. What we do, we quote, we narrate, like any other followers of the traditions, that Christianity, typical example, Muslims are sarcastic about it. That's why I'm giving this example, because we may fall into the same sarcastic position ourselves. They say Jesus will save you. Believe in Jesus. But how Jesus will save me? He is such a status. There are many different variations of their understanding of the status of Jesus. So we are not going into that subject. We just laugh and say, how can you make sure? How do you know? But when it comes to ourselves, we may do the same thing about Quran, about Prophet Muhammad, والسلام, as the Prophet. How can you make sure that the Prophet Muhammad والسلام, was a prophet? Do you have evidence for it? Are you really convinced about it? Or just it is your hero? If we are not convinced about ourselves, we shouldn't try to convey it. It doesn't work. Maybe it causes reaction. Why? Why it causes reaction? Because as we find people who say Jesus will save you, and we just take it not seriously, really, as a laughing stock. Well, how do you know? Where is? How can you really make sense of it? And if we say the same thing to other people concerning about our belief, and saying that if you follow the sunnah of the Prophet, example of the Prophet, you will save your life. Do you have evidence, experiences? So it is a serious subject to me. If I am not convinced about it first, rather than trying to convey the message to others by quoting the source, I have to sit and convince myself what I am going to say. If I am going to quote a verse saying that in the Quran, Allah says so, are you sure that you can confirm the content of this verse. First, sit and first have your evidence that the Quran must be the word of God, the creator of the universe, rather than Quran is Muslim's sacred book. The other will say the Bible is the Christian sacred book, so on and so forth. Right? That is really practically very important. Although we love conveying the message, we love making dawah as Muslims keep using it, but we may ignore making dawah to ourselves. Take it for granted that I am already saved because I am on the right path. That is what I feel that the Muslim community is suffering now. We are suffering. I am suffering from it. Okay. I said, I'm continuing to read. I said, sorry. O soul, my soul, listen to 5 warnings in response to those words which you uttered in compounded ignorance on the couch of laziness, on the chair, comfortable chair or bed of laziness, couch of laziness. Correct my pronunciation. Is it couch? Yeah, couch of laziness in the slumber of heedlessness. Just because you are lazy, you are trying to find out an excuse for it. But let's say, what is ignorance about it? It means be aware of yourself. First of all, try to understand who you are and what are you doing in this world. So we will see the warnings now. If you have any comments and questions, please just raise it. Okay?
Just a comment about that phrase that we've been discussing. One who does not reform his own soul cannot reform others.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting that this was the commentary about convincing yourself and having that evidence and believing in it for yourself with proof before others, because when I first read it, that wasn't the immediate thought, in terms of like convincing yourself about your faith. So I think the interpretation of reforming your own soul with that commentary is really powerful to me, because when we first read that, when we hear that, it has to do more with, I guess, like heart, like belief in the sense that it's interpreted with others.
It may be included, but we have to be certain about it, as you said. But at a very simple level, if you don't know a subject, you cannot teach others. But this is a matter of belief, conviction. Knowledge is, you can transfer the knowledge, but you never believe in it. So in physics, they say this and this and this, and transfer it. Transferring the information. It is not like this, or our subject is not this. This is something to do with belief. It means your conviction is necessary, not your knowledge. But that brings us to another subject. If we turn religion into information and learn the information, what the verse means, what prayer are ordered by God, no, it is excellent. So that's what I have learned. And conveying to others, I see. This knowledge is transformed to other people's mind. Does it cause conviction? No. Even now, AI artificial intelligence can convey the message to you. You can ask. And how, for example, even you may ask as a scholar, big scholar, tell me the verses in the Quran related to prayer, 5-time daily prayer. Immediately, in a second, it will list everything to you. This is information. No value. So, Quran orders you. Then I'm changing my voice, I know, imitating some people's attitude, speaking to public. We have to pray. It was mentioned by 20, more than 20 verses, ordered to pray. How can we ignore it? Yeah, information. Does it help? I don't think so. I don't think so. Okay. That was interesting how we should pay attention to the importance of this warning. That is why he says, I'm going to speak to my soul, myself, to convince myself first. So if I am convinced, you are a human being from my species. So we have common qualities. You may be convinced as well. Okay, first warning. Oh, my wretched soul. He's now speaking now to himself. Is your life eternal, I wonder? Now think about it. First, are you going to live in this world eternally? No, but that is one interesting point. Why transient world? Why transient life? Do you have any incontrovertible documents showing that you will live to next year? Or even to tomorrow? Incontrovertible, it means definite. That's what I understand from. You cannot convert it back. So, no. No one can guarantee. Even nothing in the universe can guarantee that it will exist next moment. We are all dependent in our existence. And we see anytime, especially as far as our life is concerned, anytime I may die. But my existence is not guaranteed. How can I guarantee my life? So, what causes you boredom is that you fancy you shall live forever. It means, oh, with no end, I have to pray, keep praying, no end. And then it causes, it is boring. Eh? It is really tiring. But, okay, if you had understood that your life is brief and that it is departing fruitlessly. Now, if you don't think of the source of your existence, yeah, life is brief and that is departing fruitlessly with no benefits. Let's think about it, really, what we have been doing. Let's be realistic, not really hiding behind the religious canopy, if you like. What have we been doing so far in the world? What is left with you? Maybe some information, maybe some property. And you said, this is mine. I have now this, I gained this. Okay. Are they going to help you after you die? That's what fruitless. No fruit. What will remain, at least we can say, what may remain with me? At least to start with, may remain with me. If I investigate my existence and where did I get it? I will go back to my beginning. That's what we superficially think. And say, who brought me here? I wasn't here, yeah, before I was born. And I am here. Who brought me here? If we think that the source of existence, our source of existence. And I definitely know that. Maybe as a child, I may not know. Well, I know as a child, also the children know that there is death, but they don't know what it really means. Yep. As we grow adult, we know definitely we will die. I am brought here and I'm taken away from here. What does it mean? Who is this? Bringing me here and taking me away from here. And letting me experience life stage by stage through various experiences. What is the point? Why am I given these opportunities here? So when we think about it, if you are given something, and if it is not going to accompany you after your death, it means it is given to you for a dead end, fruitless. I'm going to lose everything I have. It doesn't mean I shouldn't work, I shouldn't get something to sustain my material body and bodily life. But when we think about our human side and the value of our existence, it cannot be reduced to satisfy my bodily needs only, because what makes me is not my body, my spirit, my human side. And human side cannot be satisfied with anything transient. I may cheat myself. We have to be really free thinkers. I may cheat myself saying, look, I am enjoying my life now, and it is beautiful, but really think about it. You are enjoying, but the enjoyment is slipping away from you. It is gone any moment. And what is the meaning in being created in this situation? Because it is obvious that somebody is bringing to me into existence as a human being, and the same one is letting me go through a journey. It's a very interesting journey full of different experiences at different stages of my life. And then slowly showing me you are going to be departing from this world, going to depart from this world. And you have to think, how come you came into existence? How come you cannot stop going out of your being? we understand that all we are doing in this world, as far as our bodily is concerned, bodily life is concerned, are doomed to rot in the grave. But we have to do something with our spirit. How can I satisfy it? They need satisfaction. Bodily needs are limited, extremely limited. Air, water, and something to eat, and shelter. That's it. How about my friends? This is not bodily need, that's your spirit, spiritual. And I have to enjoy, that is spiritual, not body. Be careful. You are, in fact, created to satisfy your human side, spirit, not your body. Your body is transient. You can do it. It's very easy. Very easy. It's not very difficult. But we are making our life really horrible because we have many, many, many I must have lists, artificial. Well, we can do that, but know that none of them remains with you. None of them remains and will remain with you. And they will just go into grave with your body. That's it. They will be left behind, so what? As far as you are concerned, they don't help you. So we have to understand that our human side needs permanent satisfaction. So we have to look for it. How can I do that? If I am engaged with any permanent satisfaction, then that is the purpose of my life has been accomplished, because I am permanently satisfied. How am I going to do it? This is the problem. Of course, in order to go into this field, one has to understand he is created. He or she is created. That is essential. So it has a creator. So he has to always question, why did he create me? What is he expecting of me? What is the purpose in my existence? What is he trying to teach me? Lots of questions, all concerning our spiritual side. If we think that our transient world needs us to do something in order to satisfy my eternal need for satisfaction, and this is going to take place in a very short period of existence. In this, between birth and death, that's it. That's what I have to do here, prepare myself. Like, let's assume that a person lives 80 years, normally, generally. You take education for some time, but this is all for your rest of your life, all your education. Now, that is then, of course, analogy. So you are going to school, you are learning something on a temporary base, but you are gaining something and utilizing it in the rest of your life in this world. That's why we don't get bored. We say, I'm going to college, yeah, and it will take me 4 years. Okay, 4 years, I must work hard so that rest of my life will be comfortable, worldly life. And we can justify it. That is why we all go to schools for education. No one says, every time I will do this. But we see the result in this world. That's why we don't question. But really, beneath this problem lies the weakness or vagueness not clear certainty that I am preparing myself. As when I connect myself with my Creator, I am preparing myself for my satisfaction of the eternal, infinite needs of my feelings, my spirit. Then it becomes very cheap. Why? I will do this and gain eternal, infinite satisfaction. Why? Fulfilling the duty of my purpose in existence in this world. Because I feel that my Creator lets me know that I need satisfaction, permanent satisfaction. Permanent satisfaction is only possible in this world, only possible in this world, through connecting your existence, your life, your expectations to the source of your existence, who is the creator of the universe. If you realize that while you are praying, in fact, you are communicating or renewing your contract, as the Quran says, act, mithaq. There was another word for it, but it didn't come to my mind now. Contract, let's say. But mithaq, it's a very Quranic word and used in the translations. Okay. Contract between me and my Creator. If somebody remembers the word in English, ahad, mithaq, just share it or tell me, so that we will be familiar when we read the translations of the Quran. That it is about this. If this is the contract, because my feelings are created with a capacity can be satisfied only connecting it with my Creator, who is absolute being, an absolute being. Why? The universe is his work, demonstrating himself. I am an absolute one. You cannot really limit me to anything. That is why I gave you the senses, which needs eternal satisfaction. And I am the eternal one. No one is eternal. You see my work here, I keep changing it in their existence, demonstrating that they are transient. They are dependent. They are dependent on me. So that is what we have to prepare our mind to understand the importance of prayer. And we should never feel it is never ending and very repetitive and boring. Doing the same thing again and again, every day, 5 times a day, seems to be. Okay, we will discuss, or the author will discuss a lot about this matter. It surely wouldn't cause you boredom, but excite you, sorry, I confused. It surely wouldn't cause you boredom, but excite a real eagerness and agreeable pleasure to spend 1 hour out of the 24th hour, 24th, on a fine, agreeable, easy, and merciful act of service. It means serving yourself. Serving yourself when we perform your prayer, which is a means of gaining the true happiness of eternal life. Why? Because you are connecting yourself, your consciousness knows that if I connect myself to the eternal source of existence, I will get it eternally, not my body, because I am not trying to satisfy my body. I'm trying to, while I'm praying, I am trying to satisfy my spirit, right? For example, if your machine, just an analogy again, not perfect, but analogies cannot be perfect. Exactly. If it is exactly that, if it was possible to explain something through analogy exactly, it means there is no need to use analogy. The thing itself will be plain, understandable. So we are using analogy just to compare. You have your machine works on battery. Without electric power, the machine doesn't work. Correct? So battery gives us temporary power. You don't feel secure. What you feel, if you connect yourself to the main source of electricity, but of course the main source of electricity is also temporary. No, example is different between battery, run your machine on battery, or continuous source in this world. Is there any difference? Yeah. That is why we have to connect the machine needs electricity all the time. This is an example. My eternal or my feelings need electrical power, not battery. Battery is, I cannot trust it, temporary. So maybe my body may be satisfied with battery. Example, this is just an example. My body, because I eat today and that's it. Tomorrow I will charge again. I will charge again. This is running on battery. But at the end, your machine dies. Battery will your side of existence, which runs with battery on battery, then it is okay, transient, finish. But human feelings need eternal happiness. So that if you connect to the eternal source, electricity, then you shouldn't bother. If the electricity is permanent, then your machine works permanent. That is why we have to make this difference, that prayer is not your body exercise. Prayer is connecting yourself with the Creator. One thing, it is too early to discuss, but really very practical. So why we are not enthusiastic about the time to come so that I will pray? Through my own experience, if I pray and doesn't connect myself to my Creator, rather, I am a Muslim. I believe I have my obligations, and one of the main obligations, maybe the only main obligation, is prayer. That's what I believe, right? Prayer is the main obligation, and another main obligation is, but secondary, because it depends on, once in your whole life, Hajj. But both of them need a very clear consciousness. If I go to Hajj and just see the people crying, shouting, and get emotionally charged and come back, you say, it is nice because it's an emotion, but it's kind of socialization, seeing different people doing different things, and seeing some crying people, praying people, shouting, asking God to do, so that you get engaged with it, but it's transient, temporary. If you really go to Hajj with a very clear consciousness that what you are doing represents what for you, then it is worth it all life. That's what once is enough, God says. Once is enough. Now, if we want to get ready for Hajj, we have to do the exercise through prayer. What is it to do with it? Both of them are connected to God. Spiritually, bodily. Experiencing in practical terms of this word. If I don't get the pleasure of prayer, taste of prayer, try to understand what does it represent rather than performing one's religious duty. If I don't do it, it will cost me a lot in the hereafter as a result of fear which is true too. I'm not saying we shouldn't fear. No, we have need to fear the consequence of our actions. Most of the people fear of the police. That's why they don't really do anything they want. Most of the people fear of getting fined, ticket. That's why they obey the rules. They don't park anywhere they want because they have the fear of getting a ticket. You never know. A policeman or a guard may notice and give me a ticket. That's why this fear. If there was no fear, everybody would park anywhere they want. Fear is necessary. Fear is an unavoidable side of our life. Education. So some people say, no, I don't need fear. I love learning. Yeah, that's correct. You know the value of it. But sometimes you may feel lazy. That is human fallacy. So you have to say, oh, if I don't go to school today, I missed the class. When I missed the class, it would be hard for me to learn. And I may fail in the test, exam, whatever. And all my efforts will go to nothing, into nothing. So this fear also another support for encouragement. That is why, yes, we have to love God, that He created me, gave me this and this and this. But if I am ungrateful, if I am ungrateful, then He will say, hey, what did you do with the capital I gave you? Life. Where did you spend it? Why didn't you utilize it? As the Quran says, why didn't you make profit out of it? It really do something fruitful, useful, a kind of investment for the hereafter, eternal life. Why did you do it with them? Because they need eternal satisfaction, infinite satisfaction. And you didn't use it for infinite satisfaction. You didn't look for it. So this fear must accompany with my love. Otherwise, only love makes me lazy. And I love God. He loves me. God is love and no responsibility. No responsibility. No connecting with it. Once a week, maybe on Fridays. Nah, that is very superficial, artificial. Yeah, this is better than nothing, but doesn't satisfy really. You go there and sit and 5 minutes, 10 minutes and get out. Okay, we have to understand that we need fear as well in order to train ourselves, educate ourselves, or in order to tame our arrogant ego. Hey, you may say that I am young, I can do everything, but be careful, you will die. You will get old. If not before, at the end you will die. And you are going to be taken into account. What have you done with the trust, with the capital of life, with it? What have you done with it? Second warning. Okay. Oh, my stomach worshipping soul. It means body worshipping soul. Every day you eat bread, drink water, and breathe air. Do they cause you boredom? Like we will say, they don't. Because since the need is repeated, that is the key point. Since the need is repeated, it is not boredom they cause, but pleasure. But, we have to prepare ourselves, inshallah, for the next week. And do I feel hungry? Then food tastes pleasure. Do I feel hungry for connecting with my Creator and making my life meaningful? Otherwise, transient. I gained. What will happen at the end? I will lose it. You know that. Your consciousness never forgets this. You will lose it. To my children, okay, they will lose it. Even your children after you die, who cares? The first day they may cry, the second day, okay, life goes on. Yeah, my father died, but life goes on. It means I'll take care of myself. He is in the grave, rotten, none of my business. Finish. So we cheat ourselves that our children will enjoy it. After you die, you are not concerned with your children at all. You will be questioned, what have you done with your capital? Which kind of trade you did it? I gave you huge capital, human feelings. Oh. So if the need is repeated, it causes pleasure. But do we need in our feelings to refresh our contract with my Creator? To refresh it. Yeah, you are my Creator. I ate today. You provided the food for me. Oh, you are taking care of me. You are as near to me as my food. You are as near to me as my air. So I acknowledge it. And I'm very thankful to you. You are the one who takes care of trillions of different creatures, their need. We all wait for your help. And I acknowledge it. Anytime you eat, we have to refresh our connection with our Creator as well. But in our real life, living conditions, not only mind activity. Or in my feeling, I feel God. Yeah, everybody feels God. Your spirit feels God. That's why how you believe in God acknowledges it. It doesn't contradict your nature. The denial, disbelief contradicts your nature. You deny your spirit, need of your spirit. It goes against your feelings. Meaninglessness, no one can bear it. Okay. in which case the 5 daily prayers should not cause you boredom, for they attract the needs of your companions in the house of my body, which is what are the companions? We will see now. Yeah, in your body, it attracts, or they attract the needs of your companions in your body, the needs of your companions in the house of your body. The sustenance of my heart. Don't forget that you have heart. You have conscience. You have consciousness. The water of life of my spirit, you have endless feelings. We cannot really do anything, whether we believe in God or not, whether we believe in spirit or not. We cannot do anything without following our feelings. If you want to do anything, you feel it, something. If I want to buy something, you like it, you use some reasoning. And this is beautiful, this is fresh, or this is tasty, or whatever. So always, not only rational activity is the physical form, but every physical being, do you think when you go to a store, why do you think they wrap everything in a beautiful, attractive way? Decorated, especially those we don't need. They don't really wrap the bread in a beautiful, attractive, shiny covering, or whatever, the cups, whatever the thing they use. No? Because bread, you have to buy it. So attractive. They make it, not because they are not speaking to you through your stomach. They are speaking to you through your senses. You know that you buy it with your senses. That's why they make it sweet and tasty, putting lots of flavors in it, because taste is the very important factor in eating the food and getting it, buying it. They know it. Otherwise, cook something which is nourishing, you don't put any flavor in it. Speaking to your spirit, spiritual side. Stomach doesn't recognize taste. Does it? While you are swallowing it, that's it. That is why mothers spend their life in kitchen to make it delicious. Okay, and the air of my subtle faculties, I may not know it, I may not name it, but I have many, many other spiritual side that functions within me. For example, if someone appreciates what you do, what happens? You like. Yeah. If someone criticizes you, you get demoralized. That's what I am. And you lose your hope and all your enthusiasm. Because I did something no one liked, no one appreciated. Look, these kind of subtleties we have. Anyway, subtle faculties. Yes, it is by knocking through supplication. It means praying, connecting with your prayer on, and connecting to supplication, on connecting to the door of one all compassionate and munificent, that sustains and strength may be obtained for a heart afflicted with infinite griefs because of transient nature of the creation. Yes, I loved the dinner or breakfast today. It was wonderful to have it with my family members, with my friends, whatever. But God immediately follows it. If we are not connecting ourselves to the one who provides all these and gives us all these feelings. Now, so maybe obtained for a heart afflicted with infinite griefs and sorrows and captivated by infinite pleasures and hopes. Because we need infinite pleasure, and this worldly bodily satisfactions are transient. You see, the word is mixed with hope and grief. Satisfaction, pleasure, and sorrow. That's how this word is. Oh, I want to finish this part. It is too late, but I'm sorry. Let's finish it, and I will speed up, inshallah. And it is by turning towards the spirit of mercy, towards the spring of mercy of an eternal blood through the 5 daily prayers, that the water of life may be imbibed by a spirit connected with most beings. Imbibed, I understand, immersed, sucked in, correct? Yeah, imbibe. So sucked, maybe satisfied, immersed in it, by a spirit connected with most beings. Why? Because not only me, for example, I know you are married. So if you know that you are here, seem to be, I'm sure you are, inshallah, very interested in the subject, carefully following, but you got a message. Your child is crying because of hunger. He woke up, well, you have sons. So he woke up and he's crying for breakfast. How do you feel? None of my business. I am enjoying my being here. How do you feel? So you say, excuse me, I have to go. Why? Connected. Your spirit is connected with most beings. For example, we hear that somewhere the innocent people are being killed. Yeah, some part of the world. Does it bother you? Do you feel sorrow? I feel, I do. I said, how the people can do it? It shouldn't happen. What's wrong with them? They are going crazy for a small land. You own it, I own it, and all of you will die. And the land will still remain under the possession of somebody else. At the end, the owner, real owner. What is wrong with you? They are killing people for the satisfaction of your ego. Connected, although you have never seen them. You have no connection with them. That is why we are our spirit connected with most beings, which swiftly depart from this transitory world, crying out at separation. Not only me, everything is going to be separated from existence. At the end, while you are taking care of your children, does it come to your mind that they will also die one day? Now, when you think of your child, God forbid, not your child, a person is dying, one of your relatives, one of the people who you are connected with, it means you know. Don't you feel sad? That's what we are. Separation is very heavy. How about separating from your existence totally? Unbearable. Unbearable. Only somebody cheats himself. That death doesn't bother me because I'm going to disappear from existence. It is what it is called something cheap way of cheating yourself. I want exit. How do you know? How do you know? Don't you think your creation is so wonderful? Anyway, this is very important. And we have to think that not only ourselves, if somebody is suffering here, let's say, God forbid, there's an accident here in front of your house. You heard the crash and looked at, and a man fell down out of his car and bleeding. What do you do? Definitely want to do something. At least you call 911. Why? This man needs help. This man needs help. None of your business. You cannot do that. That's how we are created, connected with the rest of the universe. If someone really takes a picture from galaxies newly discovered by humans, galaxies, they are there, but we are newly discovering them. And the pictures, you share it with your old friend. Look how wonderful, there's another interesting galaxy. Look, every galaxy is its own way of moving around. Not all of them are the same, although we symbolize it with this elliptic shape. No, some of them are this way, so another way. All of them are beautiful if you get the details. Okay. And being most needy for air in the sorrowful, crashing, distressing, transient, dark, and suffocating conditions of this world, material world. Yeah, material side of this world, suffocating conditions of this world. It is only through the window of the prayers that a conscious inner sense, human feelings, only through the prayers, connections. Our conscious inner sense connects to its source and connects itself to the eternal source. And luminous subtle faculty can breathe. So, okay, I am transient I am giving this transient world by an eternal, infinite being. So my being demonstrates that my source of existence is infinite, so I have to be satisfied by connecting with him. He will take care of me. He brought me freely, didn't he? How much did you pay to come into this world? I didn't pay. I didn't even know. I found myself here. Free. He is giving freely because he is absolute being. So, and luminous subtle faculty can breathe, which by its nature desires eternal life and was created for eternity and is a mirror of the pre-eternal and post-eternal one and is infinitely delicate and subtle. It means if you connect these delicate feelings to an infinite power which needs infinite satisfaction, infinite source, then I am satisfied with it. Inshallah. That is why we need to remind ourselves continuously, hey, because we get lost in this world. We're the concern. Inshallah. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I really kept you here for 15 more minutes. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Subhanaka la ilma lana illa ma 'allamtana innaka antal alimul hakim. وآخر دعواهم أن الحمد لله رب العالمين بحرمة سر سورة الفاتحة. If you want to say anything, raise your voice and hand. Otherwise, I will stop live streaming, inshallah. Wassalamu alaikum.